Hey tubers, me again. Hey, I get asked this question, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 times a month. I always encourage questions so I can, give a decent answer. The best way to do it is so I can just point to a video of mine or whatever, or a link, and then help to explain it. So the question is, why does my tractor backfire when I go to shut it down? And then there's a ton of videos out there that's going to tell you, well, this is what you need to replace. It's called an anti-backfire solenoid. And what it does is, its job is to stop or allow the fuel flow from making its way into the engine via the venturi and that emulsion tube. So what happens is, a lawn tractor it's either going to be like a big bore single cylinder, or maybe a twin cylinder. And because the workload is not attached directly to the end of the journal, it generally goes down to a pulley, and then it drives a series of pulleys and stuff. In order for a regular push mower has got the blade underneath, and as that's spinning around, that adds weight. That's like having a bigger flywheel. And so on on a riding tractor, those flywheels are really super heavy. You'll see where this comes into play. So let's just say it's a twin cylinder. Ignition coil here, and then this cast iron flywheel that spins around. And what happens is, when you go and you shut off the ignition switch, it kills the power over to this solenoid that's on the bottom of the bowl of the carburetor. And the default is if it has no power, that this plunger, which is on a spring, will go up and it will close, so that the fuel cannot go up through the tube in there and then into the engine. Well, I hear a lot of guys say oh, you don't even really need that. Well, you kind of do, because this is what happens. Bear with me. So down here it tells you, because I wrote it, the default on that solenoid, or no power, is closed. The key on activates the electromagnet and opens the plunger to allow the gas in. So if you put a voltage on there and it's not running, you'll hear it click, because it's going to pull that plunger down and allow the gas to go up through. So and the reason why they put that on there is exactly this, is because it's to stop the backfire. Well, what is a backfire? Okay. So this big, heavy cast iron flywheel, once you kill the ignition, because it has so much weight, and it's not like a push mower, it doesn't have the brake and all that stuff, that leans on the flywheel. It just has too much energy that's spinning around. So it's going to run probably, after you kill the switch, it's still going to take, and it's going to run 7 to 8 rotations with no spark. The piston is still going up and down. Here, piston number 1 over here is going down. That's drawing gas into the cylinder, but because you have the key turned off, the momentum is still making it run, and it's taking all that unburned fuel and it's pumping it right out the exhaust. And there's cylinder number 2, same thing. This one's going up, this one's going down. This is pushing out unburned fuel because the ignition is off. The spark plug won't fire. So you're going to get the volume of fuel that it takes when it's running is going to be it'll be from cylinder number 1, cylinder number 2. That's going to get dumped into the muffler. That's going to get dumped into the muffler. And so if it takes 8 rotations for it to stop, you're going to get 4 you're going to get 4 cylinderfuls of unburned fuel dumped into the muffler. Same over on this side because it's a twin. You're going to get 4 volumes of air mixture dumped into the muffler. The muffler is the hottest part of your engine. Catalytic converter, yes, small engines do have catalytic converters. So what happens is all that stuff gets in there, that unburned fuel, then it gets ignited by like maybe even like if you're running it hard, there could be like a glowing piece of carbon or whatever that's still in there, and then it explodes. That's the backfire. And for the guys that say, oh, you don't even really need to have that solenoid, you can just take a Briggs, jet and put it on the bottom. Yeah, it'll work. But now each time, like when you shut it down and it backfires, you call it a backfire, but it's really an explosion, and it's only got 3 places to go. It's going to go back up when it explodes. It's going to go back up through the exhaust tube from the muffler. It's going to try to go back into the engine, which is not good, through either one of those tubes for the exhaust, and it's also going to try to get out where your exhaust normally would go. So don't listen to those guys that say like, you don't need that. Yeah, you do that. You do need that if you want to take in, have your engine running the way it's supposed to run and make it last. Because for all those times that you're backfiring it, you're not helping it. So that's why it does it, because of the momentum of this flywheel. And if you don't shut off that gas, and sometimes they'll still do it. I mean, I've actually seen them still do it because it's only going to get that much. The fuel that's left inside that little emulsion tube, that's all the fuel it's going to get. If you eliminate that and then it's going to be just like it's running. You're going to get 4 cycles on cylinder number 1. You're going to get 4 cycles on cylinder number 2 of fuel in there, and then bang, that's what will cause that backfire. So now you want to know is like, how do I totally eliminate the chance of my machine backfiring? Same principle as this is if you are to take and put an inline, or like someplace over in here, if you were to take and put an inline fuel shutoff and just turn the fuel off and let the machine like this, the volume in the bowl, obviously if it's not getting any fuel, it will go down. There'll be nothing left. The machine will die on its own. There is no fumes to build up in the muffler and to get ignited to cause the backfire. So that's what's happening. And that's why your tractor backfires on shutdown. It's getting too much fuel. And it's all because of the weight of the flywheel, because it gets so many rotations. I hope that helps some of you guys. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. I'm out.